So Cassidy Little is the People's Strictly champion, and he's here right now at the ESP headquarters. How are you, sir?
Very well, boss. Very
Congratulations.
well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And the trophy, look at that.
Right?
So where'd you put this on?
That's going to go on the piano.
Very cool.
But I mean, where else? If it was magnetic, I'd stick it to the fridge. You know, I think that would be in proper spirits. Yeah, I'd just stick it on the piano.
So for people that didn't see the People's Strictly, what's the difference between that show and the Strictly Come Dancing we all know?
The People's Strictly is an evolution that they decided to do for comic relief, to raise money for comic relief. And instead of using celebrities to dance, they were going to take 6 people, regular, ordinary people from the public, and put them on the show and get them to learn a routine, pair them up with professional dancers, and then dance in front of the nation. Very
good. And talk me through the moment you found out you were going to be on the show.
They surprised me. They jumped me.
Okay.
Cheeky. They surprised all of us. All of us. If you go back and watch the first 2 of the 4 kind of episodes, that's all about these surprises. These kind of surprise. Yeah. Jump out. I was at HMS Victory, which was Nelson's old ship, where I was doing, because I worked for BFBS and Forces TV.
Okay.
And so I was doing a story with the CEO of HMS Victory. And things weren't adding up. I couldn't figure out why my producer had come down and why she was wearing a smoking hot dress, and why did my wife want to drive the truck? And it's like, they're just little things in your life. It's like when people are planning a surprise birthday party.
Yeah.
You don't realize, you know something's out, something's, it's like reality is shifted just a half a frame left. Sure. Like you can't figure it out. And so I knew something was up. I could feel it in my bones. And then the Royal Marines Marching Band came out, and they're awesome, best band in the world. They came out, and then by that time everything was kind of, and then I noticed that there was 5 cameras looking. I was like, okay, what's going on here? Well, I'm going to be made to look a fool, obviously. And then all of a sudden dancers come spilling out of HMS Victory and out from every corner, and I'm like, okay, still hadn't clicked in that it was Strictly until I saw Kimberly Walsh and Brendan coming down. It was like, okay.
And it all came together.
Okay, so this has something to do with Strictly.
And what was it like being on the show?
The show is amazing.
Yeah.
The show is amazing, but it's ruined by your nerves. You can't. It's really like we all did 2 dances. We did the group dance together, and we also did our individual dance with our partner. The group dance I had such a different feel for because you weren't nervous. You were just really having a good time, right? Like you were dancing. It was dancing with your friends, dancing like in front of millions of people, and knowing what you're doing is fun, and nobody cares if you step left or step right. It's just awesome. But the nerves before your individual dance is just horrible.
You didn't look nervous?
Oh, I was absolutely terrified.
Okay.
Absolutely terrified.
And where were you watching? Oh, was it live? I can't remember.
It was as live.
Yeah.
It was as live. So they recorded it. They did they pre-recorded it. But the way that they'd done it was that the only thing that you don't see is actually they required like 10 minutes to do set changes for everybody.
Okay. Yeah.
So other than that, they just tightened up the gaps and you saw it in the order that it was done, and yeah.
And did you see it on the telly yourself?
I did. I was at home in Market Deeping. I was at my stepfather's place. I wasn't at home. I was at my stepfather's place in Market Deeping. And all the family and friends locally were over, and he got a projector and projected it onto a big wall, and we all sat around and watched it. And I immediately after it, but watching myself, went and turned on social media to try and keep up with that, because there was only a half-hour voting window.
Yeah.
And of course, I wasn't. I wasn't trying to push the public to vote for me or anything, but I was, if anything, just keep the awareness going. So you've got half an hour, vote for someone. It's all going for comic relief. So just vote.
You said about social media as well. Did you have any like celebrity support or?
Yeah, I mean, our celebrity mentors were like Kimberly Walsh and like that was Lewis Smith, who's a local boy, I believe.
Yeah.
He was Trishna's mentor. So we all had these kind of celebrity mentors, and like Kimberly Walsh is just a phenomenal human being. And I didn't expect that. I kind of expected, for some reason, I expected her to be a little bit false.
Okay.
Like I expected her to be a bit of a showbiz girl.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, she's so far from that, it's not even funny. She is so down to earth and so awesome. I just hope, I pray, and I'm not really a praying guy, that I stay in touch with her and get a chance to work with her in the future. She's just an unbelievable human being.
And you mentioned Lewis Smith. We've of course spoken to Lewis many times, him being local. How did you find him? Like, did you get
Legend, legend. He was an awesome boy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, again, because I always got the impression that I was like, okay, I don't know if I have much to talk about with Lewis. You know, I mean, yeah, he's Olympic, uber Olympic rep and medalist, and you know, poster boy for awesomeness in the UK. And then goes ahead and wins strictly, so it's like, I don't think I'd have much to talk about. Actually, we got together and it was just like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, banging that. And we actually get along really well, yeah.
That's cool. And strictly, a lot of it's about the sequins and...
Absolutely.
What were the guys at the pub like? Was there a bit of mick taking, or were they...
No,
behind you?
I think to begin with...
Yeah.
I think to begin with, there was a lot of, hey, you're gonna be orange, right? And even the lads in the Corps, in the Royal Marines, were a bit like, oh, God, we're gonna have to see him on TV again, oh, gee, oh. But I think that when I went out and did my dance, that all stopped immediately.
Sure.
Because everybody kind of went, oh, okay.
Well, you got 4 10s, didn't you?
Yeah, so I did, we did, myself and Natalie did. I get 4 10s, but we worked really hard to get them. So I'm not. I mean, I'm not in a position yet where I'm comfortable saying, yeah, of course I got 4 10s. I'm not quite there yet, but because we worked really, really hard, really hard to get to that point, and it paid off.
And for those that don't know as well, and if you haven't seen the show or if you don't know about Cassidy, you lost the lower half of your leg in Afghanistan.
That is true.
Did that make being on Strictly even tougher? Like, I can only imagine.
Prosthetics are 50% in your mind and 50% hanging off the end of your stump. You know, you assume that you can't do things because you have a prosthetic. It's not that you can't, but you've almost already defeated yourself because you said, I have a prosthetic and therefore it's going to be different for me.
Yeah.
Right? And that goes through all amputees' mind every day with every activity they do. Somebody says, we're going to walk down the pub. You go, yay! The amputee will go, walk. As soon as you trigger the word walk, you think, okay, walk. How's my stump feeling today? You know, what foot am I going to use? Okay, what, you know, where's this, where's that, whatever the case may be. So it plays in your mind all the time. The challenge is to shatter that and go and just break straight through it. So at first, when they mentioned this to me, I was... like, I'm a Royal Marine. Yeah. I will always finish the race. I may not come first. Hell, I may come last. But I'll always finish. Because it's a matter of pride to get across, you know, the finish line. The problem I had really is that I didn't know whether I could even start the race.
Okay. And
that was me already defeating myself because of that.
Yeah.
Once we got the blade on there, once we came back from Madrid, things were different. And I got rid of that stuff. So is it more difficult? I don't know. Because when I danced before, dancing is always difficult.
Yeah. If
it's not difficult, then you're doing something wrong. It should be physically demanding. I don't mean that to say that, you know, dancing should be painful, but it should be physically demanding. It's a very physical thing to do. So it's important. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But hey, you know, everything that's worth doing is tough, right?
Well, I hope you don't mind me saying I find you very inspiring, and I'm sure winning Strictly you've inspired many more as well. And I do have more questions for Cassidy. We have a lot more questions, but we're going to cut the interview because you're going to have to read the rest in April's ESP magazine, so make sure you check it out. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate it.
Cheers.